Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blue Room Lounge podcast.
Welcome back.
I am Matt Nicky.
And I am Dave.
Davey, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Back on the mic.
Yeah?
Yes.
Finally. We just passed Memorial Day here in the lounge, in our time present.
Yes. You're in the future.
You future listeners, you.
You would have passed this like a month ago.
Yeah, for sure. But I woke up on Monday and had like half a day, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, do I need to post a podcast?
No.
And then I looked at my phone and you hadn't messaged me saying that I fucked up,
Yes,
so I was
where's
okay.
the damn podcast.
What am I going to do for the next hour of my life?
Right.
Dave, I got to say thank you to the One Night Standards.
For the intros and outros.
Intros and outros. I don't do that enough.
Yeah.
That's at the top of my list right
Sing
now.
their praise.
Yeah. That's at the top of my list now. There's a lot of like little edity things that I need to like be a little bit more consistent on.
Yeah.
And that's okay though.
Like throwing out
The
the...
thank yous, a little bit of my notes, like kind of keeping a good rhythm, but that's
Okay.
okay. I was wondering, Dave, how would you describe the Blue Ribbon Lounge to people out there in the multiverse?
Like where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Dank.
Dank.
It's the dankest lounge.
I like that. What kind of words would you use to describe the podcast?
Informative yet entertaining.
Okay. I like that.
Out there, but not too far out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I was just kind of curious. I was thinking about that all day. I was in a different room at work today, so I didn't see it very much.
Oh, was someone like, hey, what's your podcast about?
I have been telling people that I do a podcast.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I haven't been good at it. So, have you been out and about lately, Dave?
Yeah. Saturday, I went with a friend and we were going to go to the caves.
Caves.
Maquoketa
Caves, okay.
Yes. And we pull up. Well, first we go by the welcome little center and there's just a bunch of cars. And I'm like, that's not a good sign. We pull up to the entrance of the park. There's this volunteer kid with an orange blazer and hair to match. It was pretty cool. But he's like, our parking lots are all full. But if you would like a map to the city of Maquoketa and maybe go waste an hour and then come back, we might have space. And we're like, well, we'll just drive through and see.
Okay.
And yeah, there was just humanity everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way we're going to like, you have to wait in line to crawl through a cave.
Yeah.
Like, and
Oh, dude, that's Memorial Day, though.
yeah, but it was like the weekend. Do you think people would be like cookouts and boating and going to the pool because it's like
spelunking.
yeah, but there were like people in like button-up shirts and grandmas with walkers. I'm like,
Whoa.
do they not know where they're at?
Well, I mean, maybe it was all the COVID business that is making people like kind of rethink their priorities or the things they do.
Yeah, but if you have a walker, I doubt you want to go walk through trails and
Well,
up and down stairs.
You're
and-
obviously wrong, Dave, because they
guess.
were out there full force.
well, they probably were like, Grandma, remember that time you fell and you had to army crawl up the stairs? I bet you'd be really good at the caves.
I bet you'd be really good at the caves.
Yeah, so we didn't go there. There's a place nearby that we ended up going, which was neat, not as crowded.
Yeah, well, that's all right then.
Yeah, there were some guys with like gas RC cars.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and they were doing like I would call it like rocking, but like you know where you see in like on videos,
Like off-road things, like
yeah, where there's like the Jeeps and then they like go up on a boulder and like maybe it's
bouldering.
well bouldering is like when you climb, but you just climb short distances.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, they were doing that, but like at miniature form, like
That
on
sounds
this trail. It was kind of cool. It was just slightly annoying.
Small. Oh, yeah, because, I mean, you watch it for a couple of minutes and then you walk around it, right?
Yeah, and they're just like making noise, and it's like
They were making noise?
yeah, the little car, not the people.
Oh,
they
I
were
thought
like
they were making noise.
get up there, buddy. The cars are making noise,
Oh, okay.
but it was
Made you feel like a god.
like I could crush that truck.
Ugh.
No, it was cool though. I mean, got to hike in anyway, and
Mm-hmm.
Still had to deal with humanity.
Well, you'll have that. Nowadays, you got to go pretty far out. I feel like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram have made like hiking really fashionable.
Yeah, because people want that cool shot, or like,
Yeah.
I'm in front of this moss-covered boulder.
Yeah,
Like,
there's all sorts of moms that have like the North Face stuff that think they can go out and live in the wilderness for days, but they just go out and hike for a little while.
right. Yeah. Well, you watch some like legit crunchy mom who like puts her baby in a baby Bjorn and goes rock climbing in like her yoga pants to eat granola at the top of a
Yeah.
cliff for lunch. And so then all these soccer moms are like, we should do that, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, it gets them outside. It's just,
Just don't bother Dave while you're doing it.
and if you're going to take snacks and a Gatorade and all this crap with you,
Oh,
take
please
it
don't.
out with you also. Don't just throw it on the freaking ground or try to shove it in a crack or hide it behind a tree.
Littering is the worst.
It is the worst. Like,
I hate that.
yeah. Especially some parks. Like Scott County Park can be one of those where you're like, I'm gonna follow this deer trail and get off the main trail, and you go hike for like 15, 20 minutes and look down, there's like a crushed Pepsi can.
Ugh, yuck.
It's annoying. How about you? Did you go out and about?
I stayed home most of the time. I did go out. I am performing June 25th, and I'm doing some sideshow acts with a pretty large production. It's called Kaleidoscope Eyes is the show. It's in downtown Rock Island, right on the river, and
Schweber?
Schweber Park.
Schweber?
Yeah. And it's at the Ellis Kell Band Shell.
Oh, okay.
My wife used to work with Ellis Kell. He was a pretty big personality within the music scene, especially the blues and the youth scene. He used to run the RME.
Okay.
And so I got invited to do some sideshow acts within this performance. It sounds like I'm going to be mostly doing a bunch of stuff during the song. And this is a Beatles tribute. I don't know if I said
Kaleidoscope Eyes.
that. Yeah. I don't know the song, but I can hear
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
The girl with kaleidoscope eyes.
Yeah. But I am going to be performing during to the benefit of Mr. Kite.
Yes.
And so I mean, essentially, I'm going to be Mr. Kite. I'm going to be breathing some fire, maybe laying on some beds of nails. The hard part is my show is so small scale. I keep it very small. So people not a lot of people come out to see me. So I try to keep it all up close, personal. You can make sure everything is real right where you are and stuff like that. So I need to figure out ways to make my act a little bigger. So it's going to be a lot of hand gestures, a lot of miming things. But
well, you're going to have like rehearsals and stuff, right?
yeah, but I mean, we had our rehearsal, but there's so much going on that like they said that I probably won't even hear all the music at one time until the day of the show.
Okay.
But I will prevail. I'm nervous. I always get nervous before a show,
Yeah.
but I'm excited.
Well, as long as there's time to practice, you can kind of like know where your cues or your spots are.
Yeah, and I pretty much got the gist of the stage down. Going down there for one practice, and I might try to go down there just by myself with some headphones on sometime and just do a couple of things.
That's cool. Is there going to be trampolines?
Trampolines, yep. Girls jumping on trampolines.
Well, that's in the song.
Yes.
Yeah, because the show tonight's on
There,
trampolines.
there isn't a horse.
Oh.
There isn't a Harry the horse.
Oh, okay.
But within the show, they're going to have like a gal hanging from the roof and doing like aerial acts.
Like with the ribbon kind of stuff?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think it might be like a swing
Oh, okay. Like a trapeze.
type thing. Yeah, that's what I think is what it sounded like. But the guy, Alan Sweet, he is a great performer, and he's got a lot of great ideas, and he's a fantastic musician. Me and my wife heard him sing, what was it, Purple Rain one time, and he just crushed it.
The Prince song?
Yeah. But I'm really excited to. I wasn't going to do a lot of shows, but I was excited to be a part of his production, so I said yes to this one.
Yeah. And I think if my math is correct, that's like the weekend after this comes out.
It should be, yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2 episodes, I'll tell you how it went.
Right. Or you can just come down yourself and check it out.
Yeah, if you're in town, yeah, definitely do that. I would highly suggest it. I don't know what the ticket prices are, but
I feel like it was reasonable.
I
Maybe like $15.
that's what I would guess.
Yeah.
I would guess somewhere between 10 to 20. But it sounds like it's going to be a hell of a production.
Yeah, people were saying they did it before for like the White album.
I don't know.
Something.
I don't know which album it was, but they did do a whole album front to back the last time. And I thought this one was going to be the whole Sgt. Pepper album, but
Right.
it's not. It's kind of a storyline using a bunch of Beatles songs throughout their discography.
Kind of like that Across the Universe movie.
Yes. That's kind of exactly how I would describe it. There's going to be like big video screens, projectors,
Yeah.
and they're going to be taking video themselves to be able to be put up on there and stuff like that, and people in costumes and
Psychedelic
I bet.
kaleidoscope eyes.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
I wasn't in the show, I'd probably take some medicine and go down there.
Take some medicine. Drink your beer.
You ever been to Rhubarb Fest, Dave?
No.
Out in Alito? You haven't?
No.
That is this weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's out in Alito. It's super fun. It's kind of just like a small fair. Have you ever been to Alito?
No.
It is in Illinois, I guess.
Yeah.
It's about 30 minutes away from my house. It's a lot of fun. You should consider going out if you got nothing to do on like Saturday or something. There's it's got a lot of pies you can buy, and it's just like a little fair, live
Rhubarb
music.
pie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like a lot of little craft booths and stuff, vendors and stuff like that. Not a lot of stuff I would buy, but a lot of stuff that maybe I like to look at.
Oh, okay. So it's a bunch of pies. It's like is it like a street fair?
Yeah, they have a pretty big town center in
Oh.
Alito, and they got a band shell, and it's probably mostly tribute or cover bands rather.
Right.
But it's not bad. I've gone a couple of times. I usually go out there for their antique days.
Heard about that.
Yeah. But it's a bigger version, I believe. And I was going to Rhubarb Fest when I was, 10. Like my
Really?
family used to go to Rhubarb Fest every year when I was growing up. Until I hit, 15 and started chasing girls instead of good times.
Instead of having good times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Subjected yourself to that.
Have you watched any good movies lately? TV shows? You don't do the streaming.
No, I don't do the streaming.
Are you rewatching anything?
Not recently. Ever since that serial killer one, I've been on it, just watching true crime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get that.
which I think I'm kind of getting over because it's always it's not always the same, but it's like a jealous boyfriend or
Yeah.
someone whose ex won't let him have the kids or somebody who wants the insurance money.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while, there's just the straight up psychopaths.
Yeah. Are those the more interesting ones to you?
Those are the more interesting ones.
Because you probably just don't see them coming as much.
Right. Or they're just like, you got me. Or, yeah, just not remorseful at all.
Yeah. I started watching the new Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Is that out?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
On Disney.
Oh, I think I did see a meme about it.
Yeah. It's been. We only watched the first episode, and it was pretty darn good.
Yeah, I like Ewan McGregor.
Oh, for sure.
And when he played Obi-Wan Kenobi, I was like, yes, that's the perfect guy for that.
Yes, for sure. I was hoping that Liam Neeson would be in it again.
Oh, but he's dead.
Well, right, but they learn how to like astral project.
Oh, yeah, do the blue Jedi thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got anything else you want to talk about, Dave?
Do you know what the tallest structure in Iowa is?
The tallest structure in Iowa. I want to say it's probably in Des Moines, but I bet it's something fucking goofy.
No.
Is it a roller coaster?
No, it is
Damn.
801 Grand, because that's the address. I guess
Okay.
that's also the name of the building. And it is in Des Moines.
Oh, okay.
And it's 44 stories and 630 feet tall.
Damn, that's huge.
I guess, but what's the
44 stories is huge. Well, compared to anything around here
Yeah.
and the old QC.
Well, me and my kid had a talk because there's like an antenna behind Scott Community College,
Oh, okay.
and she was saying that one of her teachers was saying that it's the tallest structure in Iowa. So of course I had to look it up, and it's not even the tallest antenna in Iowa.
Where's the tallest antenna in Iowa? Do you remember?
Okalali,
Okalali.
Ocelot. I don't know. It started with an O.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then Hawkeye Point, I think is what it's called, is the tallest spot in Iowa.
Oh, like geographical location.
Yeah, and I think it's like 6,000 feet above sea level.
Whoa, that's kind of tall.
But
Kinda high.
it's like you're driving down a highway
Yeah.
and then you see a sign and you just pull over and you walk over in this field and like, hey, we're there.
Because everything else is up that high too.
Well, right, but it's like it's not like you have to climb up there.
Yeah, it's not like a mountain.
It's a gentle slope.
Gentle slope. Is the Mississippi River at sea level?
I would not think so because it flows towards the sea.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna look that up.
No,
Not right now, but
because if that's how the locks work, because it goes downhill
oh,
and the locks keep it kind of
Well,
flat.
I guess I
to
thought it was.
prevent sandbars.
I guess I thought it was something along the lines of like north-south type situation. Maybe
No,
gravity.
because the Nile flows south north,
Oh.
and the Amazon is east to west or west to east. One of the two.
Oh. I heard that there's a time of the year that the Amazon gets like a big rush of water
Yeah.
and you can like surf on it. It gets like almost essentially one big wave that goes down
Oh.
the whole thing.
I think I've heard that too.
Yeah.
But I
Pretty
know
cool.
there was a guy that walked the whole thing, and during the wet season, he had to pretty much go from tree to tree
Oh, because it flooded
because
so bad?
it got up so far off the bank.
Wow, that'd be kind of cool though. Being fucking Tarzan, George of the Jungle.
Yeah, until you're like a
Get your
week in and your feet are still soaked
And just swollen and
Yeah.
raisiny.
right, and your skin's just white and wants
Yeah.
to fall off.
Oh yeah, I bet. I bet it just like you get cut super easily.
Yeah,
Gross. Yeah, I don't want to do that anymore.
no. And he'd have to do things like he would be kind of stuck at a spot,
Yeah.
and then a boat would come by and take him to the next town so he could like resupply. But then he'd have to go back by boat to the spot where he left so he could walk, because otherwise it wouldn't count.
Yeah. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's like whenever I think of if I were to text you right now, my phone data would have to go to some antenna that's close by and then back to you.
Yeah.
I think of that sometimes.
It's odd.
Yeah.
That delay. Or it's not like doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
You think they would fix that with like maybe put a little Bluetooth
Little shortwave
little
in
thing
there.
in there or something.
Well, they used to have cell phones that you could like walkie-talkie on, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how they worked, but maybe they had a little walkie-talkie shortwave radio in it.
I think it's kind of there was like a
The Motorola TalkBack.
Nexus or
Nexus. That sounds right, Dave.
yeah, because it wasn't.
Did you have one?
No.
Oh,
But I think it was like an orange, kind of looked like a walkie-talkie, but it was also a flip phone.
yes. Yeah, because I think you walkie-talkied when it was closed.
Yeah.
You could probably do it either way, but
Who knows?
yeah. Do you ever have a brand new phone, like top of the line ever?
No.
No, not ever?
No. Cheapest one.
I have a buddy that just like occasionally he gets the wildest hairs to have like the brand new top of the line stuff.
Yeah.
Like he had a Mustang for a while, and now it wasn't necessarily an expensive fancy Mustang because we were kids, but I was just like, why are you driving this Mustang?
Right.
But I was driving a Jeep Cherokee, and it's like, first of all, 4 doors, back hatch, you can fit anything in there.
Right.
He was driving this Mustang.
Yeah, where like the back seat might as well just be like a shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, all of his friends were, at least 5'8". So we have to be the ones to cram back in there.
Yeah.
And then another time he had to get like a Motorola Razr.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was like brand new, and I was like, why are you getting this phone? I had one of those Nokias that were like bricks that they didn't even fold.
Yeah.
You could play Snake on them though.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get a cell phone until 2010.
2010.
Yes.
Dang. I guess if you didn't need it.
I had a landline, and there used to be payphones in enough spots where I could just call my answering machine, put in a boop, 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 and it would play my messages. And my friends knew to leave messages on their answering machine. And so then I would just call them back, and they would know if it's an unknown number with like a
oh, it's Dave.
319 or 30 whatever the area 563.
563 is one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they would be like, "Oh, that's Dave." I'd be like, "Oh, hey, yo, you still at that place? Yeah, we're still there."
Fair.
Yeah. I didn't need it. It's
Hey, that's all right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a burden, but when you don't have cable, you just watch some YouTube videos.
That's true. Yeah. I haven't had cable for a long time. I got the streaming services, but
Yeah, thanks Obama.
thanks Obama.
Well, because he made it all digital, so you can't just have rabbit ears. You have to get the digital box to convert the regular, like the 3 channels or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have the 3 channels?
No.
No?
I got one of those digital antennas, but we never hooked it up.
Oh, okay. Fair. Hey, to each his own, Dave.
Yeah, man.
Should we get into it or what?
Sure.
I don't know if I have much more to talk about in my life. It's been so nice. All I've been doing is sitting outside.
I get that.
Well, and
Doing some yard work.
Yeah, you know what, Dave? Just got a hot tub.
Oh.
Yeah, I got one of those like $500 inflatable Coleman hot tubs.
Coleman?
Yeah.
Oh, that's quality.
Yeah, they got a really good heating infrastructure.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that what all their other products are? Is like
cooling. And they have lanterns. And
lanterns.
Camping.
Yeah.
Oh, now I see. Vintage Torque Fest.
Oh, setting up the hot tub.
Yeah.
Although it takes like fucking 24 hours to heat up.
Well, you're always there early.
That's true.
Yep.
Plus, I don't mind if it's 60 degrees.
Yeah. If you would have had a kiddie pool, it'd be the same deal. But at least this gets warm.
Yeah.
Still shoots the jets.
Shoots the jets. Shoots the J. But I'm kind of excited. I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos on it. Still trying to figure out how to keep it clean.
Okay.
Just trying to work on keeping it cleaner and cleaner every time.
They have things. You have to go to like that pool
and spa
place. Yeah. I can't think of it right now, but it's over on Elmore near Lowe's, kind of.
Yeah.
And they have like chemicals that you can put in like a rubber ducky looking thing.
Yeah.
And just have it bob around, and it kind of supposed to keep stuff like at a right pH.
Yeah, I have the test strips and like a pH increaser, and I'm using bromine instead of chlorine because I heard it's better for your eyes and stuff.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, man.
But I've been trying to work with that, and we've only had it for a couple of days, but I'm learning about it. I kind of want to get this rubber duck thing you're talking about, because what I got is just like it looks like a flying saucer.
Oh,
kind of.
That's cool.
It just was a little gray thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Grace.
The little gray
Little
is
gray.
a little Earl Grey.
Yeah, that's like Jean-Luc Picard.
Jean-Luc Picard.
He likes Earl Grey.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Star Wars, Star Trek. I'm not even.
Is that in the show?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's kind of funny.
Well, now you know.
Yes, I was never a big Star Trek guy.
I was what do you call it? Secondhand
Yeah.
Trekkie.
When your parents or
Yeah, my
sibling?
mom.
Oh, okay.
So and I think it was on every day of the week.
Oh, I bet.
like in reruns at least, and then the new one was like probably on a Thursday or something. Yeah. So it's like,
It's thick with episodes.
yeah.
Was Jean-Luc Picard the first one?
Next Generation.
Next Generation.
First one was Captain Kirk.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was
James
the first
T.
or second.
Kirk. And he was actually born in Iowa.
And, yeah, they have a statue of him, right?
Um,
Clearwater?
No.
No.
I know if you go whatever,
I am for sure they have a statue wherever it is.
but they do have a mini replica of the Enterprise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Man, it's like if you're going to like Buffalo
Okay.
and you stay on that like River Road highway, whatever highway that is,
Mm-hmm.
and just keep going, eventually you'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like like probably an hour and a half outside of the Quad Cities.
Okay. Before Galena? After Galena?
Galena's north. You want to go south?
Oh, south.
yeah.
You know what? That's not a direction I go very often.
Yeah, and it's not quite Burlington
Mm.
'cause it's a small town.
Okay.
So I'll have to look that up. Maybe bring it up next time.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah,
Write it down in your little notebook.
I'm going to.
Your little Blue Ribbon Lounge notebook.
It's getting thick.
Thick with information.
Yeah, it's from all these past episodes. Speaking of episodes,
Oh, yeah, let's get into it.
yeah, people are like, it's been a half hour.
Oh, and it's been twice as long here because we had to start over.
Oh, right. So actually, it hasn't been that long.
No, it really hasn't.
Yeah.
Unidentified flying objects.
Yes. Types.
Types.
Yeah.
I have a lot of different stuff.
Well, I got different stuff too. Where would you like to start?
So I wanted to start with, did you hear about this congressional hearing on May 17th?
You did send me a link to that, but
It is on YouTube. Just have to look for it. It was with the House of Representatives, and the majority of what it was for was addressing not UFOs. Do you know what they call it now?
IEDs,
IEDs, UAPs.
UAP, that's what you get put in your arm so you can't get pregnant?
Yes.
Okay.
I think actually, or is it? What's the one that blows up in the ground?
That's an IED.
Oh, okay.
So it's the other one. UAP,
UAP is what they call it now.
unidentified aerial projectiles.
Phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
Phenomenon. Do 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 do. So an unidentified aerial phenomenon, a UAP, is an airborne object that cannot be immediately identified. And this meeting was to set up a group that they have now created. Project Blue Book has been dissolved for a while now, right? 2000
Yes.
early teens.
Yeah, but it's kind of like that when we did the remote viewing where they'll have a project and they'll be like, and now it's named something else.
Yeah.
So that way when the media's like, what happened to Project Blue Book? They'll be like, oh, it's dissolved. But then really they're still doing it under another name.
Yeah. So this was to give a little bit more clarification to the Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group, also known as AIMSOG.
AIMSOG.
They are responsible for the isolation, characterization, and mitigation of the UAPs. So a lot of what it was kind of dispelling rumors of people seeing flying saucers, for lack of a better term.
Okay, like that Tic Tac.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where soldiers are not wanting to release information that they have seen so they don't sound like kooks.
Right.
And so people don't make fun of them. Probably a lot of within the military, I would guess.
Right.
Unless it's a more common thing. But they implied that people were getting kind of bullied into not wanting to report these things.
Right. I could see that. Like, you report it to your gunnery sergeant, and he's like, what? Get out of my face. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So they kind of talked about that they have created a more structured way to debrief in the situation of a UAP, and they are also like pooling all this data. They said they have like over 2,000 experiences or examples, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And a lot of them is like they have some data but not enough to explain it, or I don't know if maybe they characterize it, by shape or color or this or that, and then like kind of put them all together to see what kind of factors were going on to see what it could have been.
Right.
And they do show a couple of videos of UAPs, and they debunk them in that it's some sort of drone having a picture taken through, like one of them is picture taken through night vision goggles with like a single speed shutter camera, and a lot of it seems like it was a lot of glare and stuff. They had a couple of examples of that.
Right.
Some of the I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It was like an hour and a half.
Okay.
But and I kind of suggest watching it. It was kind of funny. Some of the funnier parts was this Ronald Moultrie. He is the his title is under the Secretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, but they asked him if he was a science fiction fan.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I grew up, during the Apollo program, and he had, grown up during like Star Trek and stuff like that, like we were talking about before.
Right.
And he said, well, I go to a lot of conventions. I don't dress up, but
Right.
which the guy would make a pretty good Worf from Star Trek with the big forehead things.
Right.
Yeah. But something we should check out is some representative from a state. His last name was Gallagher. He brought up
Watermelons and a big hammer.
he brought up there was UAPs observed over a military base that housed strategic nuclear devices. The Maelstrom Air Force Base is what it was. And 10 nuclear ICBMs were rendered inoperable at the same time as a glowing red orb was observed overhead.
I've heard stories like that before, where
Okay.
they'll see stuff over like nuclear bases,
Mm-hmm.
and then something like some kind of phenomenon will happen to
Okay.
the base.
That's cool.
So I don't know if this is them saying the same story again, or if this is a new story.
He said this happened in 2019.
Oh, okay.
He also brought up this story about a former head of the DIA who had tried to communicate, or maybe he got communicated from a Dr. Eric Wilson and was made aware of certain contracts and programs that he wanted access to, but was denied. So I don't know if the doctor was trying to get in on stuff or this DIA agent was trying to get in on stuff. And you know what? That is actually in 2019. And that's called the Admiral Wilson Memo or EW Notes Memo. And I'll do better research on that. But they both sounded pretty interesting on something to look up later.
You said EW notes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see something about that, but it was all looked very clickbaity. Like,
Yeah.
why is Congress holding hearings about UFOs?
Yeah. And they did have a separate, like, private meeting, but they said that that was because they don't want the, like, enemies to know what kind of radar and stuff like that they're using. Because I'm assuming all this is because technology has advanced so far since UFOs have been being seen.
Right.
So now they need to know and make sure that things aren't like the Russians or Chinese.
Right. And they think because if we go like supersonic or subsonic or whatever, like super fast, and are able to like pivot on a dime and stuff, they don't want other countries to know that we have that kind of technology,
or to be able to pick that up,
right?
so that they think that they're going to get the drop on us, but we actually can see them coming.
Yeah, so it's easy to be like, let's talk about these unidentified flying objects.
Yeah, they did say on there that they did not have any material that was not from this Earth.
Oh, so Bob Lazar's Element 19 or whatever it is, it's not true.
That from what they said on here.
Oh, okay. But you know why they probably had the secret meeting is because of the Zeta the Greys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Recticulians, which is a star in the Orion constellation where they're from.
Okay.
And they actually they're considered bad aliens because
The little grays are?
because they come down here and they're trying to do like a gray human hybrid sort of deal.
Okay.
And they have talked to like Jimmy Carter and other presidents and struck an accord to be able to harvest enough humans to not make it obvious. And the government is kind of like, well, if you share some of your technology with us, then maybe we'll let you sell drugs in our ghetto. I mean, harvest, hillbillies and people that live in trailers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It could all make perfect sense.
That's why they had those secret meetings, so they could be like, hey guys, actually, and then like Zimzar comes out.
And he says we need like 600 more people a year.
Yes, and we have to destroy at least 500 more cows. Yeah.
So little grays, you said they were from a star in Orion's belt?
In its constellation.
Oh, constellation.
Because there's also...
how far away is it, do you know?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't look that up.
Oh.
But there's also the Nordic aliens, which are tall, humanoid, like blonde-haired, blue-eyed aliens.
Okay.
They're also from Orion.
Are those one of those sexy aliens that they're like come to you in your dreams and
What? Yeah, they're also. I think that one is kind of the racist alien.
Oh,
because it's the one that, like, I don't know, not the stereotype, but somebody from somewhere would be like, oh yeah, the beautiful pale-skinned aliens that all white people are descended from.
Oh, okay.
Like that kind of thing. But it's also could be like, I made contact with this lady alien and she was fine and she wants to research my body.
And that's how they're making tall, blonde-haired alien human hybrids.
Right. Well, that's what they were saying. Like, the little grays use humans to make hybrids to make tall grays, which then they use to be like emissaries to humans, so that way they're not as freaked out by their appearance. Yeah, but those are the only two from Orion, I guess.
Oh, those are both from Orion.
Yeah, the solar system, like, because there's different solar systems, because they're from the Lyrian Regal solar system.
Okay.
But it's within the constellation of Orion. So since you look at Orion and there's all those stars in that constellation, each one of those could be a separate solar system.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess, our sun could be one of them.
Yeah, so somebody from space looking in, our sun could be like the tip of a spear for one of their constellations.
O'Larry.
O'Larry?
Yeah, instead of Orion.
Oh. No, we're just Bob.
Bob, Planet Bob.
They're in the constellation of Bob. But there is an equation called the Drake equation.
Okay.
That these scientists at Nottingham University in the UK used to come up with a number that there's like 36 species of intelligent life in the galaxy.
Okay.
Um,
So it's like solar system, galaxy, universe, right?
yes.
Okay.
Where's
Where's a nebula fall in that? A nebula is
a cluster
of universes or a cluster of galaxies.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But they came up with 36 species, but
How could you possibly... I'll have to look that up because I'm interested now.
they assume that Earth-like worlds would harbor intelligent life,
Okay.
and that and by saying they're saying 36 species that we could probably communicate with.
Okay.
So then there's an equation where it's
So many Earths reside in this many amount of planets or something.
yeah, well, it's like the number of civilizations humans can communicate with, which is n, equals the average rate of star formation, r, times the fraction of stars with planets, times the average number of planets that could support life per star with planets. So not every star with a planet has a planet that could support life.
Okay.
Because it has to be in that Goldilocks zone. Yeah. And then times the fraction of life supporting planets that develop life.
Okay.
Because not all ones in the Goldilocks zone would develop life.
Yeah.
And then times the fraction of planets that develop intelligent life, times the fraction of intelligent civilizations that develop communication,
Okay.
times the length of time that the civilization can communicate.
Okay.
So,
Like the dinosaurs wouldn't be able to communicate
right.
that we know of.
Correct. Well, they're going by radio waves,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of people say that that's not really accurate because maybe they communicate
A different
differently.
way,
Yeah,
yeah.
with like protons or
Mm-hmm.
something else. But it was made, so it's basically N equals R times FP times NE times FL times FI times FC times L. Yeah. But it was developed by Dr. Frank Drake.
Frank Drake.
Yeah, Frank Drake. And it was more of a way to stimulate scientific dialogue.
Okay.
And
I mean, yeah, you got to start somewhere, I guess.
yeah, and it's thought more of an approximation than a serious attempt to figure out the number.
Mm-hmm.
Just to start somewhere, because you can go through and there's like a high end and a low end, and then some people have even cut off like the last two parts about the communication.
Mm-hmm.
And like at the very super conservative end,
Yeah.
there's one civilization per 100 billion galaxies.
Oh.
So us.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only us. And then on the high end, they say that there's one civilization per 35 stars.
Okay. Seems a lot. That seems like a pretty far range. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's what a range is.
Yeah, but like so somewhere in the middle, this one guy came up with the number 420.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I saw this other number where in the whole universe there's maybe 1.4 trillion, like out of the whole universe.
Okay.
So it kind of does vary a lot to actually like try to come up with an idea of how many people, how much intelligent life is out there.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't account for like bacteria and like just there might be a bird on another planet, and that's the only thing that inhabits the planet.
Just a one bird on a whole planet.
Just
And like a planet full of worms.
planet full of worms, or maybe just like a bird colony.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we hardly know exactly how our brain works, let alone how to quantify it into, other species. or
Yeah,
whatever.
well, because a lot of people have thought that even if there's life, intelligent life, maybe like a human brain type thing, is maybe like a fluke, like a once in a however trillion chance.
Yeah, like when you watch those people throwing ping pong balls into teeny tiny cups.
Like Beirut, or the beer pong, as the kids call it.
Yeah, or like people do like where they do it off a pan.
Oh.
Like 16 pans and it goes in.
Like Dude Perfect.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
But then there's a couple different things, because there's a thing called the Fermi paradox.
Fermi paradox. No, that was the paradox of Genig.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is it conflicts. The paradox is that if there's one intelligent civilization per 35 stars, but yet there's no evidence of existence
Yeah.
of another civilization, and so that, or if there was, wouldn't they be here? Wouldn't we already have contacted them or have evidence of like a intelligent?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, and I just started thinking like this. A lot of people say like, "Oh, the universe is so big. Why is it so hard to believe there's not other life out there?" Because there could be a bird planet, you know, just like, and it could just be a planet full of pigeons,
Right.
or something like that. And that's true, but also 1 in a billion chances the same likelihood that we could be first.
Right.
And I mean, as far as people talk, it seems like the universe is still pretty young, ever expanding, as far as we know. So we could be first.
Yeah. And there's also the thing where like radio waves, after like 2,000 light years, they start to just become noise. Like they're not discernible.
I bet.
And and that's only
it's like when you drop a pebble in a pond, it doesn't, that ripple doesn't go forever.
Yeah, and if your pond is the size of the universe and they're on the other side, or they just don't happen to come in that circle, they just might miss.
Yeah, there could, like 6 million light years away from here, there could be a whole Futurama situation where like everybody's zipping around on, shortwave planetary vehicles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But maybe they just can't get over here. Can't get out to the boonies where we're at.
Right. Well, there's a thing called the Kardashev scale. Kardashev.
Oh, I thought you were gonna compare the size of the universe to that Kardashian's butt.
Ever expanding.
Ever expanding.
But it's evaluates alien civilizations on the amount of energy that they use, which is just part of a theory by this Kardashev guy.
Yeah.
Because he was actually writing a paper about something else, but then was just like, thinks you can categorize civilizations by how much energy they use. So like we're like, the first type is like,
we got to be using a shitload of energy, right?
Right, but we're not even type 1 yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because type 1 would be able to use all the energy on your planet.
But like efficiently.
Yeah, but that also means like weather and volcanoes and earthquakes and tidal waves.
Because that's all energy.
Yeah.
It's just, we just don't know how to harness it.
Right. The only thing we do now is burn dead plants. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And then...
I'm about to burn this dead plant, man.
Okay, Cheech.
Cheech.
But we're like, they say like 0.6, 0.7 is about where we're at. And then type 2 harvests all the energy from your star.
Oh, okay. Which we don't hardly do that at all.
Right. And they're thinking more like a Dyson swarm or a Dyson sphere.
Well, what's a Dyson swarm or Dyson sphere?
It's pretty much like solar panels,
Okay.
but then you just totally encase the sun in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking totally encase the Earth in it, but
No, because you're trying to harness the energy of the sun
right.
or figure out a way to use its like nuclear processes that it's going through, reactions to create energy.
And is this this Dyson sphere or whatever? Is that something that somebody tried to make up at some point?
Yeah, not the vacuum guy, but a different scientist. Like,
I guess I didn't put that vacuum guy together.
I didn't really get into that, but it's
Okay, that sounds like cool for another episode.
yeah.
We'll have to write that on the thing,
And
or
then-
maybe like just alternative energies.
yeah, alternative energies, and then
But they have to be like far out alternative energies.
far out, man. Yeah, man, like burning dead plants, man. And then we I think like you pedal your bike, but put the chain to like a fan.
That cools you off.
Yeah, man.
All right, fine. I'll quit interrupting you. You made your point.
But then type 3 would use your entire galaxy,
Okay.
because it's obviously like a bigger leap each
So
time.
we're not even type 1, and type 1 is like the smallest one.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to go backwards. I thought it was going to be like type 2 is 50% of all of your energies.
Oh no. Like, so there's different.
Utilizing all the energy in your galaxy.
So that means like, mining other planets or using their stuff, and then maybe figuring a way to send energy back to either like your home planet or to power your space shuttles to then become like a type 4, where you use the whole universe.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah. But most scientists think that there's nothing past 2,
Okay.
because anything past 2, you definitely see something
Yeah.
like either like man-made or not natural constructions around
Yeah.
the star,
Yeah.
or like blinking lights and flying saucers and shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I got one more theory.
Okay.
It's called the dark forest theory.
Forest.
Forest. Like,
Okay.
run, forest.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's like the idea of a planet or a civilization like a hunter in a dark forest,
Okay.
where, okay, you're all alone and you could call out to see if anybody's out there, but you don't know what's out there. And what if it's a predator?
Yeah.
And so if you're like going along through a dark forest and you do come up against another hunter,
Because because if you're sending out radio waves or whatever, anything that could get to us should be more advanced than us.
yes, that too. And so then you would think that the best possibility is either to A, stay quiet, or B, shoot first.
Yeah.
And because even if you could communicate, how would you put up a big peace sign and then they put up a Rurgelflurg? You don't know what.
Yeah.
You don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
And so existentially, there's that like, are they hostile or are they good? Are they hostile or are they good? And human nature, like,
You're gonna assume hostile.
Yeah.
We have assumed hostility through the past 60 million years or whatever.
Look at that Hopkinsville thing.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
they just started blasting, like,
Yeah.
whoa, little guy. Like, yeah. And so it's like, maybe it's better to either say nothing or just observe. If we do start going out there, maybe just put out feelers and see if there's anything out there.
Yeah.
And if we do find anything, just watch them to see if they're friendly or hostile or how they act,
Or shoot first.
or just blow them up. Yeah.
Blow them up. Take their technology.
Yeah, because I think if you
Run a big cable from their planet to our planet.
and then take their energy.
Take their cable, cable internet.
Yeah. Well, if they can travel light speed, if you shoot like something the size of a human at like 90% light speed at a planet, you're just gonna nuke it pretty much.
The planet?
Yeah. But so maybe that's why we also don't see other civilizations, because they're like, hey, we don't know what you are.
Yeah. They could be watching us
Yeah, observing us.
instead of shooting first.
Right. And they're like, those apes are crazy.
And now they're listening to it after they have nuked us because we saw them finally. And,
Right.
And what's it called when you like ultimate destruction or whatever?
Assured
Mutual destruction.
Yeah.
And we nuked the planet.
If we nuke the planet.
And then now they came down to try to salvage what they can.
Yeah, and all they find is this podcast.
The Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
Yes.
Cast. There could be aliens in 60 million years just sitting in the same seats we are, Dave.
They could be. And they could be wearing a trucker cap and a Batman shirt.
Better not find all my dead plants.
Right.
Leave all my past blue ribbons in the fridge, all right?
Damn it. Yes, those are for science.
Those are for science. Use them wisely.
Bastards.
You're blowing my mind with these ideas, Dave.
These ideas. There's also an idea that these aliens, the reptilians,
Okay.
you know, that are all over, used to be all over YouTube before YouTube became the bitches.
The bitches.
Well, because back in the day, you could be like, Hollow Moon.
You could Alex Jones everybody.
Yeah, and then you could go down rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Now, good luck trying to find, you have to like type in the exact right thing to find the video that you're looking for.
Because they don't put it at the top of like the search and stuff.
Yeah, and the algorithm's all like, just because the flat earthers messed everything up.
Damn you, flat earthers.
Because people are like, oh, this is getting serious. You guys should totally stop showing videos to make stupid people think the Earth's flat.
Stupid people be stupider.
Right. But I did find a thing that said these reptilians, the ones that, you know, supposedly can shapeshift and are politicians and bigwigs and stuff, that they're actually native to the Earth.
Oh.
Yeah. And they're kind of like the evolution of dinosaurs.
Oh. Like velociraptors that somewhere between a velociraptor and a goose.
Right. Or if you
a chameleon.
Yes. Exactly. That's why they can shapeshift.
Yeah.
Or like a squid. Or not an octopus.
Octopus, yes.
And they think that we're squatters on Earth. And they kind of think that we're inferior and that we need guidance. And then they use different methods to control the way that we go, you know, whether through politics or religion or business.
Okay.
And
as opposed to getting rid of us?
Well, because there are these guys, the Anunnaki.
Nano.
It's Anunnaki. Anunnaki. But they're giant humanoids that played a role in seeding the Earth.
Ooh, I'm not going to go that well.
Yeah. But they stop by on occasion to check on how their little experiment's doing. And so, like, they have an agreement with the reptilians to, like, make sure we use our resources correctly.
Or else they'll come back and fuck the reptilians up.
Yeah, because they're supposedly, like, ancient gods. They used to hang out back in the day.
There's so many things that are so, like, alike in ancient cultures that have never met each other.
Right.
Like, I think of, like, Horus in Egypt and certain gods from Native American cultures.
Yeah, and how the pyramid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even, like, Native North American tribes had pyramids.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, there's one outside of St. Louis that me, my kid, and my mom climbed up.
I heard about that. Isn't there like a whole city around there?
Yeah, there's like a whole city, but there's one big one that's like...
Did we talk about that?
I don't know if we did, because I know this was before pre-podcast times.
Yeah. Because maybe you had just said it to me, or maybe you talked about it on the pod, or maybe I just stumbled across a YouTube video. But there was like a whole city, and there was like pyramids and like graveyards and super ancient and shit.
Yeah, it is like a whole city, and they
Yeah.
did all. So there's like little kind of pyramids, and then there's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
They're like earthen mounds,
Yes.
but they're still in that whole, like, the way that city was laid out would be kind of like how the Incans or the Mayans did it in stone,
yeah.
but theirs was just a little more primitive.
Yeah. And isn't it like kind of like the Egyptians where it's lined up a little bit with like straight east or something like that?
Yeah, right next to there's a place. It's actually right there that they call the wooden Stonehenge,
Okay.
because they found, like, fossilized and corroded wood,
Yeah.
and they laid it out that each pole like lines up with the sun at a certain point, and depending on the solstice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it took me a hard time to say that word.
A lot of big words today.
Yeah,
I hate episodes with names.
right. Especially when they're like, oh, they talk about the Pleiadians, which we kind of talked about before on that the pancake alien episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they sound a lot like the Nordics, so I don't know if a lot of these overlap and are actually the same idea, but someone is like gave them a different name, but then when you take this person's account and this person's account and put them together, then you're like, well, they're two separate, but they're actually like the same. Someone just stole the other person's idea,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't say that they're real, but that's just me, and I get paid by the government.
Well, God knows this podcast ain't paying you.
Oh shit.
I did find this paper. It's called Unidentified Aerial Phenomenons, A New Hypothesis Toward Their Explanation. It's written by a Daniel M. Gross. And what I had found interesting about it, to find it, was that it kind of has a list of known properties of UAPs. So from what I gathered, just kind of skimming this to make sure I could talk a little bit about it before the podcast, he had compiled a bunch of data of UAPs, and then he just kind of types up some of the general properties. So diameters of approximately 0.3 to 30 meters.
So is this all based off like witness testimony kind of stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
And what I'm thinking is he got it from a bunch of different groups and took their compilations and compiled it himself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So shape properties are diameter approximately 0.3 to 30 meters, which is pretty big. But we were also just talking about that with the amount of
Like energy?
the amount of life forms that are like sentient or whatever.
Right.
Single dots or balls, disc, triangular, regular shapes, or rectangular shapes, airship shapes, clustering dots in a grape shape, a chain shape, detached formation, surface properties, color mostly light, occasionally blue, amber, or red. And I'll try to put this into the Facebook group in case anybody else wants to read it. By the time I do that, I'll hopefully have been able to read it, but it sounded pretty interesting.
So it's just talking about different types of alien or UFOs.
Yeah.
Or IETs.
UAPs.
UAPs.
Yeah. Acoustic properties, mostly silent when moving at a sub or supersonic speed, rarely emitting a hissing noise. Yeah. I just thought it was pretty interesting. I guess there's not as much like number data in here. During the period of 1950 to 2000, approximately genuine UAP sightings were mostly interpreted as unidentified flying objects.
Oh, does it go by like era then? Like back in the 50s, mostly was like discs and lights, and in the 70s, there's like nacho chip shaped ones, and
For 6 decades now, luminous and other unidentified aerial phenomenons have been sighted worldwide in large numbers. Extensive scientific, undefined aerial phenomenons observations have been made over the last 26 years in Hessdale, Norway. The optical properties of luminous UAPs have been described in detail, but all efforts to explain them by terrestrial causes have failed. So, yeah, maybe I'll be able to read through that later and have it on another podcast.
okay,
Some more information.
Well, I mean, when it comes to extraterrestrials or ETs or UFOs, there's so much information to go through.
Yeah.
There's no way we can fit it on 1 or 2 podcasts.
Yeah, technically 2 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to write that down to when we roll the dice for the next one.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Yes.
That's all I got. How about you? Got any more stories, Dave? Any more informative facts?
No, I just that science stuff, and then anything like there's the top 10 aliens,
Yeah.
which is the Greys, the Little Green Men, which see our Jones Hopkinsville episode.
Yeah.
The Nordics, the Pleiadians, the Andromedans.
Andromedan.
Yes, which are masters of science, and they send their kids away to college for 300 years so that they can master everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and they're the ones responsible for crop circles. There's because they're interested in education and just evolving,
Okay.
and pretty much want nothing to do with us. There's the reptilians. There's Alpha Draconians, which are huge reptiles, like 14 to 22 feet tall, and they think they own the human race because they think they have claim to the universe, and they're always in constant fighting with the Anunnaki,
The like ancient god
the
type.
ancient god ones.
Yeah.
There's Syrians from Sirius B.
Sirius B.
Yeah, who are all about politics and trying to the Syrians actually hooked up with the scientists in Montauk and gave them the technology to be able to do the time traveling and the kid beating.
Oh, check out the Montauk episode.
Yeah.
That's a interesting synchronicity.
Right. There's ancient god ones, and then there's Arcturians, which are just peaceful observers that try to help Earth and other races by mediating, because they're into like physical and spiritual healing,
Yeah.
and they're also crop circle people.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And there's so many things like that. Like, not one of them is explainable. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how are all these theories, but like not one of them has been scientifically proven?
Well, when you have all these alien stuff, there's like a lot of people that used to be in the military. Like there's this Sergeant Clifford Stone, and then there's people like Bob Lazar and
Was Bob Lazar a scientist?
yeah,
Yeah.
but like, and then that one guy
Names don't matter to me,
we
Dave.
brought up one of the names we brought up in the Montauk
Oh, okay.
episode. he's also one. They like somehow they become an authority on this stuff, and so then what they start spewing,
They sell a
becomes-
good selling book or something.
yeah, and then people take those books and then make their own theories or stories. And
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these, I guess, Men from Space or whatever can be explained by people coming from a place you just don't understand. Or like we think we understand everything on this earth, so it can't be of this earth.
right, could be, or we're very human centric, and we think that every other alien in the universe, of course, would want to somehow control us or are interested in us in any way.
Or generally like and maybe it's because of like movies and stuff where I feel like a lot of aliens are shown or thought of to look like us.
Yeah, very humanoid.
Yeah.
Because it seems like Star Trek.
Well, all the actors were human,
Yeah,
right?
90% of the aliens were humanoid.
Yeah.
There was only like maybe a couple that weren't.
But like the little green men and the little gray men,
Yeah,
they're generally portrayed as humanoid.
right.
The John Hopkinsville was essentially portrayed as humanoid, I think.
Yeah, goblin esque, which is humanoid.
Yeah. But maybe that's what we understand and that's what we project.
Yeah, especially if they're owls.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say that, but yeah. Yeah, my mind is completely blown for the rest of the day, Dave. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, if you believe all the alien stuff,
What do you think about aliens?
I'm
I'm a ghost guy.
you're a ghost guy. I'm kind of like I don't know, a Mulder. The truth is out there,
Okay.
but like they're probably out there, but whether they want to talk to us or they even know that we exist,
I don't know why anybody would want to talk to us, especially right now. Humans are just such assholes right now. Like,
right?
stay far away.
And even if, like you said, if we're the first, even if some other race started developing at the same time, they're probably at the same point
Yeah.
technologically. So we're just all walking around in the dark without glasses on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just as we could be the very last, we could be the very first.
Right.
Yeah.
It's food for thought.
The truth is out there.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Or wait. How's that go?
I don't know.
X-Files?
I don't know. I think it's a bunch of instruments, right?
Yeah. Do-do. Yeah, I don't know.
Do. That one is the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's the Twilight Zone.
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. I can't whistle or.
That's the Close Account of the Third Time.
Oh,
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
I'm fried, Dave. You
All
killed me.
right.
You got my brain running on overtime trying to explain aliens now. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
My wife's gonna hate me when she gets home.
because you'll just be a mile a minute.
Yeah, trying to explain to her that there's lizard people
Yeah.
and they're helping us to survive.
Humans
for
are
the
just
gods.
genetically modified alien soup.
I'm gonna learn my lesson from this episode, Dave. I'm gonna have everything set up. I'm gonna not jinx it before we get down here, and the next one's gonna go way smoother. But this one was a good one too.
Yeah, and I think the next one we got lined up should be pretty fun too.
Yeah, I feel like we got a bunch of stuff to add to the list. I don't know if we even have room on the list.
We'll just have to wait. I guess we'll be doing this for another couple years.
Yeah, right. If you're out there listening, alien or otherwise, extra or just plain terrestrial, make sure you check out theblueribbonlounge.com.
Yes, or look us up on Facebook if you want to start up a discussion or have any questions.
Yeah, we would love to hear if there's something more you'd like us to research for you.
Yeah, and if you don't want to put it on a public forum, you can always email us at blueribbonloungemoline@gmail.com.
Yes, and you can find that contact on the website.
Yes.
Also, I'm working really diligently to get this video up, but we do have stickers up, new stickers up for sale. If you didn't see them at the Facebook group, new BRLP stickers, a little Futurama action, and all of those proceeds are going to getting a better, more expensive program to do video. I'll probably just get it for a week and try to do a shitload of videos and then get rid of it because I'm broke. But that's all of those proceeds are going straight to the podcast to do better stuff.
Right, to keep you guys entertained and informed.
Yeah, and all the Blue Ribbon Lounge stickers will go to that. So
true too, because we gotta have seed money.
Yeah. I gotta buy more seeds, grow more plants to kill.
Right.
But you guys, thank you so much for listening, and have a good one. Be good to yourselves.
Yes, and remember Trudy Appleby.
Oh.
Is that too much? Did it take you a second? Like, who's that?
Oh no, what is going on here?
It's taken off.